Hello, you guys. This is Poet Spice, Jamie Lola Tallulah, and I am here because I am going to do an box opening. But first, I wanted to say, look what Honeyman found. Okay, remember I said I couldn't find my board and my ultimate tool, so I went out and bought a new Martha Stewart scoreboard, all brand new yesterday. And I was talking to one of my friends. She's the apartment manager, and she says, "Yeah, you bought it. Watch, tomorrow you'll find your stuff." Sure enough, this is the next day. Honeyman found it. So here's my old Martha Stewart scoreboard, which is all filthy and dirty, and my ultimate tool. I was so happy because I'm like, I need them. I need them. So if you do not have this Crafter's Companion tool, why not? It is fabulous. So anyway, thought I would just, the irony of life, right? The irony of life. So I'm hoping that you could see this. Let me move this down a tad. So as you know, I got the Teresa Collins Cut Emboss. Yeah. Oh, this sucker is heavy in this box. The Cut Emboss. And you'll have to be, you know, sorry about the shaking of the camera, but it's attached to my table. And so I want to unbox this sucker. I didn't do it yesterday because I was getting some other stuff done and whatnot. So let's unbox it. Unbox it. So of course it comes with your user manual. Let me see. Do I need to put some light this way? Is that helpful at all, darlings? I don't know. So your user manual. I'm not thrilled about this lighting in my new craft room, but hey, it's got a door. So then it comes with these dies. So can you see those dies? So this happy Polaroid and this is a substantial die. That's some thick stuff. It almost reminds me of what's her name? Anna Griffin, with like the color and everything. So there's that. Thank you. Wonderful. Oh, I can't wait to play with that. So then you also get this other stuff. So you get this pack of goodness. So let me open this pack of goodness because I don't know. I don't know. I'm so excited. Look, yeah, like I need another machine, right? Nope. So you get an A plate. So there's 2 A plates. And they're kind of stuck together, but there they are. You get 2 A plates. You get this Teresa Collins twill herringbone. And apparently when they sold it originally, there were different packages, and then I wasn't able to find any of the, what do you call these? Embossing folders. So you get a metal shim. You get a B plate. You get a magnetic plate, and you get a D plate. I don't know what the C plate is because they didn't put it in there. Then inside the box, look at that. Inside the box is this big heavy butt machine. So let's take it out of the box, shall we? Shall we? At least try to get it out of the box. Oh, there's something else in here too. Oh, that must be the power cord. Oh, okay, well, let's see. Try to get it out this way. Oh. It's like slide, don't slide, don't slide, something. Get the machine out. It doesn't want to come out. Okay. Hold on. Now I actually have it out of the box, which is good because, you know, at least you know it was in there sturdy. This is the power cord. So you've got your adapter for the wall. And then here, I have so many plugs and cords, it's ridiculous, right? So let's go ahead and put that in. I'll go ahead and put this down there. And we'll remove. Like I said, forgive the shaking, darlings. Darlings. And it came sealed. I like that. I like that it came sealed in plastic. It's got a little seal on it. let's see. Create a beautiful life. That's cute. Okay, now let's see how this puppy works. So I used the instructions for an embossing folder, and it says put the D, the A platform, your folder with your material in it, and then the A platform again. So I've gone ahead and sandwiched that up. Try to make sure it's all straight. And it says to feed it in. You guys are taking the maiden voyage. Coming out the other side. Out it comes. Let's see how it did. How did it do? How did it do? Ooh. This is a fabulous folder. Look how big that is. Doesn't Anna Griffin have some of these big folders out now? Oh, look, you guys. Oh, look at that. And it's a good, not cut, but a good impression. Ooh, an all over page. How awesome is that? So that is fabulous. Okay, so as you know, we're doing the cut and emboss, and so I wanted to go over my opinion of this machine. Yeah. Okay, so for $60, is the machine worth $60? Yes, it's definitely worth $60. I would have been upset had I paid the original retail price, or even the price that they have it on the Joann's website, which is $199.97 or 99 cents. For $60, okay. Any more than that, yeah, I would not be all that happy. For a machine that's supposed to cut it all and be the end all be all, I don't think it's the end all be all. Let's start with the embossing folder. It does wonderfully with this embossing. The embossing is fabulous. So that's a plus. I cut my Dries dies. I cut this set. I wasn't able to figure out the sandwich for embossing the detail, but that's because it's not in the instructions. So it cut these shapes fine, and you can see that it did a little bit of embossing, but not a lot. So the Dries dies, okay, worked with that. I'd say that was a plus. The negative being that they don't give you any directions on what the sandwich should be for embossing other dies. They don't give that. Okay, so there's that. It comes with these dies, at least mine did. This is the die set it comes with. And the die themselves are sturdy. Love them. They were cute. They're thick dies. I mean, look. You can bang the table with them. However, let me show you how they cut first couple times through. Couldn't even get this out all the way. Okay. The wonderful, look, the R and the U are stuck in there. Okay. Now, one time it cut the Lucky all the way through, but it did not with the Happy. Like, look, it just basically embossed the last couple letters because they're not even coming out. Okay. Now, the lines that it did cut were very clean as far as that. Okay, and this was their brand of die. So to me, if your machine doesn't cut your own die like butter, okay. Now, it has like these solid shapes. It did well. It cut straight through, no problem. Okay, so that's a plus. But if you're like me, part of what you like about die cutting is the intricate dies. I mean, seriously, we could really all cut a heart. So it's the intricate dies that I like to cut. So let me show you what else happened when I cut the dies, see, it didn't even cut it all the way out. I'm like pulling on this and it's not coming out. I was able to get this to come out only by ripping it. I cut this one using the sandwich they tell you, and look, it didn't even cut it all the way out. Yeah. Now, once again, the Lucky was on and off. So for this one it cut, for the craft it cut, but when I cut the white, it wouldn't come out. Okay. Wonderful. Once again, not everything cut through. And this was on the sandwich that they suggested for their own dye products. Okay, I was able to run it again, and with careful ripping, I was able to get most of it out. Okay, so I was not that impressed that it didn't even cut their own dyes, the word dyes anyway, straight through on its own. Now, the thank you was a little better. That was the second time through. This was the first time through. Okay, so what I ended up doing was going through, and I took my Cuttlebug, which, you know, the point of having one dye machine is not to have all the other ones. So I actually ended up taking my Cuttlebug and running the dyes through to sharpen them with aluminum foil. So once I did that, then these word dyes came out. So here's the thank you. Notice how clean it is. After I used another machine to sharpen the dye. I think that's kind of, yeah. So for $100, $200, $300, I would not have, no. Okay. Now you always, you know, eventually you're going to have to sharpen a dye, but this was a brand new pack. I shouldn't have to sharpen my dyes. So once I sharpened it on the Cuttlebug, then I was able to cut it out. And it came out smoothly. See, look, they're happy. Same thing with the Lucky. The Lucky came out. And the Wonderful came out. Now, I didn't do the whole tag. I just used this scrap piece. But you can see how clean it came out now. After I used a different machine to sharpen their own branded dyes. Yeah, like I said, that to me is not the best coming straight out the gate. Okay, then I tried the Tim Holtz, you know, the thick Sizzix dye. I tried that. It didn't want to take it for like 2 or 3 tries, and then it actually eventually did take it. Okay, so they need to have some better instructions on that, because the dies are not the same size as the plate, so you got to finagle it. Okay, I tried one of the long XL dies, and it would not even accept it. The machine would not even take it, and I used the sandwich that they said. So like I said, I'm half and half. This was not a Teresa Collins, an Anna Griffin die, and I cut it. This is what it cut like on the setting for their own dies, and you can see some of it cut, some of it didn't. Then when I used the magnetic shim, then it was better. It came out better. So that's a, you know, yeah, that's one of those things where, okay, well, now that you know that, you know exactly what to do. Okay, so that one was a in between. Now my Gina Marie's. Y'all know I love these Gina Marie's because a lot of them are very intricate, which that's what those are the kind of dies I like. I like intricate dies. I mean, if it's a circle, you know, I can cut a freaking circle. Okay, so intricate dies, these. I put all these on, well, let me show you the ones I did put on there. I put that one, that one, that one, this one, and the squirrel on the platform using the things that they say, the sandwich that they say in here. It did not cut. It cut the simple shape, right? It cut the simple shape, and it only did okay with this one. It's, you know, you still have to really push these out to try to get them loose. So I did not like that because look, you know. All right, and then I had the whole sheet filled up and they didn't want to cut. So I did not like that. And like I said, here's some more of the other ones. The simple shape cut, no problem. The intricate, Some of them did, some of them didn't. You can see that. So I wasn't impressed with that, which is, you know, that's why I have a die cut machine. It's not for simple stuff because you can cut those out with scissors. It did cut the bird, but the bird is relatively simple. And yeah. So overall, I would say I'm not as thrilled as I'm not as excited as I was when I got it after trying it out. You know, over time you can figure out the sandwich, but that gets to be annoying. You know what I mean? You want to have to try to figure out. Like I said, I couldn't figure out, according to their directions, what to use in order to emboss any of the dies. And yeah, so I would say I have a mixed review for it. If you have hand problems, that would definitely be a reason to get this one. If you got it for $60 or less, yeah, I would say go ahead and get it and then just fool with it. But straight out retail, I don't know if I know I wouldn't pay that for it. Okay, so my review is it's mixed. I really don't like that I had to sharpen these dies straight out of the box on another machine in order to use it. Didn't like that. And you probably could have sharpened it on there, but yeah, but then you have to figure out what sandwich do you use? I don't know. All right, so that's my review. Thank you.